everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David, and this is a Magic Review. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. Thanks for spending this quality time with me. Today we're going to look at another download video. This is the time, this is the day and age in which we live in. People feel safer not receiving a tangible product, and people also like the ease, the access, the quickness of being able to drop your cash and immediately there's a new magic instructional video in your inbox. Today we're going to look at Threesum from David Jonathan. You can find this at davidjonathanmagic.com. I want to thank David Jonathan for allowing me to have this so that I could do the review for you. All right, so what is Threesum? Threesum is a trick that really has nothing to do with what the word might sound like, the connotations that it's probably bringing into your mind. This is a shuffled, borrowed deck routine, which is beautiful. David says whenever he's handed a deck and someone says, hey, do a magic trick, this is the one he does. They select a card, they lose a card very fairly, okay? And then going back through the deck, they choose 3 random cards. So they choose 3 random cards, and then you're going to use those 3 random cards to help you or to help them find their card. And you take those 3 cards and you add the totals. So like say you get a 3, a 6, and a 2. You add all those together, and then that becomes almost kind of a any card to any number. You take that sum, that's where the word sum in Threesum comes from, right? It's S-U-M, Threesum. You use that number to count down to their card, and it hits their card. All right, so a couple questions. Let's say you pay your $15 to davidjonathanmagic.com. What are you gonna get? Well, nothing, right? It's a download. Download video is about 28 minutes long, and it's filmed just like other David Jonathan videos, and we'll talk about that. As far as, is it what I thought? I didn't know what to think. I did see the word sum, S-U-M, in the title, right? And so I figured it probably has something to do with math, and it does. What's the overall quality and production value of the video? You got David. He's seated at a card table. There is some background music. He is well mic'd, and you do get a straight on shot and an overhead table shot. As far as what he's gonna teach you, first comes the trailer, and then you get a full uncut performance, which is nice. He's gonna give you all the crediting, which I love too, and I will always champion that. Of course, this is a Martin Gardner style effect. It's his principle, and he's gonna show you actually the Martin Gardner effect first. Then he's gonna walk you through the entire effect that he's come up with, and he's gonna give you all of the needed motivations behind the effect, and that includes blocking and method. So he doesn't just teach you how to do it, okay? He teaches you why it works. Now I will just say that this needs to be done with a full deck. So if they're giving you a deck, it's borrowed, you need to make sure it's a full deck and a full deck without add cards and jokers, okay? He will teach you at the end of this a little bit of a tweak that you can do if you see the deck has jokers in it. Pocket space can be done with a shuffled borrowed deck. So pocket space is a deck of cards or nothing, right? They hand you a deck. How are the angles? Nothing to find. Can it be inspected? Nothing to find. There's no gimmickry. Nothing. It's just you and the deck. How much practice does it require? You are gonna have the card selected and controlled. Not only that, the card is gonna be controlled to a very specific spot. And it's not the top and it's not the bottom. It's someplace else. He's gonna give you some easy methods to get it there, but that is gonna require some practice. But I wanna say the practice behind this, I don't think the practice is gonna be as focused on the sleight of hand that's involved. I think the practice is going to be doing this in the moment so that it looks natural. You're gonna do a couple things when you control the card, but then there's also something else that you're gonna be doing too. You're doing those things in the moment so that it all feels as organic as it looks. And I think being able to do one thing while you do another, I think takes practice. Setup and reset, like I said, shuffled borrowed deck. There's no gimmicks, there's no setup. It's a very clever method. It's totally impromptu. Okay, totally impromptu. But he will give you some ideas if you did have a chance to set this up in advance. Like if you were going to do some setup, if you had the opportunity to do some setup, maybe you weren't using a borrowed deck, he does give you some tips to make this a little easier. Positives. All right, so what are the positives? The teaching is clear. The method is fun. This looks fair and clean. That's what we like with tricks, especially something like an any card to any number, which this is kind of is. It looks fair, it looks clean. And let me just say, all of David Jonathan's stuff is good, all right? Negatives, let me just say, okay, the negatives are, because it's impromptu, right? And it's a fully shuffled deck, you probably need to come at this at a intermediate skill level, okay? This isn't really, I wouldn't say this is a beginner's trick. You need to know your way around a deck of cards, okay? Second, I think you should be comfortable with being able to do math in your head, okay? Yeah, I mean, it says threesum right there, and you know there's already addition in it by adding up the 3 cards. So you're gonna have to be able to do some simple math in your head in the moment and have it not trip you up. Is it worth your money? It's 15 bucks. $15 for a impromptu miracle is totally worth it. People who would like this, I think intermediate skill level magicians who would love to have a trick ready to go in their brain that will blow them away, and any card to any number practically, right? It's pretty much an ACAN that you can do impromptu on the fly. Well, that's everything I can say about Threesum, David Jonathan. Make sure that when you're Googling it, or maybe Googling other reviews, you spell it correctly. Spell it correctly. It's S-U-M, Threesum. S-U-M, David Jonathan, okay? I wanna thank David Jonathan for allowing me to have this so that I could do the review for you. And if you'd like to purchase it for yourself, like I said, head on down to davidjonathanmagic.com. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time, bye. Hey, and before I go, I just wanna let you know that if you're looking for a friendly community made up of professional and amateur magicians, just like yourself, be sure to check out the Magicians Forum at themagiciansforum.com. The Magicians Forum is helpful, clean, and you'll be able to ask questions and receive advice from people who know what they're talking about. Come see where masters like Harry Lorraine and Pop Hayden hang out. Oh, and of course, I'm there too. Looking forward to seeing you. Have a great week.